Hey guys, I'm Hellhound, and as you know, unfortunately, I have some very tragic news today. If you haven't already heard, Sir Roger Moore is no longer with us. He died this morning. He was 89 years old, so he did live a pretty long life, which is good. I was very sorry to hear that he passed. I kind of knew it was coming, though. He's unfortunately been in bad health for quite a while now. And he did live a long life. Unfortunately, I can't say the same thing for Chris Cornell, the singer of Soundgarden, Audio Slave. I meant to do a tribute video to him too, but I guess I didn't get around to it. So I'll go ahead and say rest in peace, Chris Cornell, as well. He died a few days ago, unfortunately, of a suicide. I swear, man, what is it with the 90s grunge singers? I mean, God, man, Kurt Cobain, Lane Staley, Andrew Wood, Scott Weiland, and now Chris Cornell as well. It's just it's awful. All those bands I grew up with they're just dropping like flies. It's just so unfortunate. So, yeah, definitely, that was really, really, really sad. I was in a really bad mood that day, so, yeah, really sorry to hear about Chris Cornell. But anyway, yeah, there's that. But back to Roger Moore. He was a great actor, and he was in several great movies, but obviously he was best known for his tenure as James Bond. And as you know, I'm a huge Bond fan, and he was actually the longest-serving Bond actor. He played Bond 7 times, 7 different movies, and for the most years. He's my second favorite Bond actor, next to the great Sean Connery, which I did a birthday video for him, I think earlier this year, or it was last year, I think. So this will kind of be a part 2 of my James Bond videos. I just wish it could be under better circumstances. One was Sean Connery's birthday. This is unfortunately the passing of Roger Moore. So I know that I'm definitely going to be watching lots of my favorite Roger Moore Bond films. His first one was, of course, Live and Let Die. This probably had like the best theme song out of all the Bond films, right up there with Goldfinger and If You Do a Kill and World's Not Enough, Diamonds Are Forever. Great theme. Almost better than the movie itself, actually. I was never a big fan of this one. Mr. Big was a pretty cool villain, but I don't know. I never found this one that great. And it was his first time playing Bond, but it definitely did get better. Also, then his second Bond film was The Man with the Golden Gun. Now, this one has a great villain. Very great. One of the best Bond villains of all time. Christopher Lee. The great Christopher Lee, rest in peace, plays Francisco Scaramanga. And he's just awesome. He makes this movie, because otherwise it's not one of the better ones. But Christopher Lee definitely makes it a lot better. Spy Who Loved Me is a great film. This is my favorite of the Roger Moore Bond films. It's probably my 4th or 5th favorite Bond film, period. This is a great movie. Fantastic. I can't praise this one enough. Roger Moore is just amazing in this. Definitely his best Bond film, and definitely one of the best ones in general. It's easily my favorite. Moore, Bond. Did I say Sean Connery earlier? If so, I apologize. But yeah, my favorite Roger Moore Bond. Definitely check it out. It's highly recommended. And I also really like Moonraker. Yeah, I don't care what you say. This movie is so much fun. I know it's cheesy. I know it's kind of silly. But Jaws, with the henchman from Spy Who Loved Me, returns. Again, played by Richard Kiel. And this time he falls in love with this girl. It's just such a funny scene. And he actually turns good at the end, too, which is, I don't think that's a spoiler. It's an old movie. Yeah, there he is. This movie's so much fun. It's James Bond in space. I think it was trying to cash in on the whole Star Wars craze, kind of riding on its coattails. But I love this movie. I know it's cheesy. I know it's silly. I know it's technically not one of the better Bonds. But I think it's so much fun. Definitely one of the most entertaining. Yeah, Roger Moore is great once again. It's Bond in space. Come on. How can you go wrong with that? And Hugo Drax, played by Michael Lonsdale, is a great villain. Also, Holly Goodhead, played by Lois Chiles, is one of my favorite Bond girls as well. Definitely, from the Roger Moore era. Yeah, great film. Very underrated. As I said, it's always lumped in with one of the worst Bond films, along with Diamonds Are Forever, which I also really like and find underrated. But it's far from the worst Bond film. Far from it. And For Your Eyes Only, this is probably my second favorite Roger Moore Bond film. This is also really, really good. And it actually opens with the return of Ernst Devereux Blofeld. Once again, it doesn't show his face, just like in From Russia with Love and Thunderball. I can't remember the actor's name that plays him, but he's bald once again. He's got his white cat, and he's in a wheelchair this time, I guess, from after what happened to him in Diamonds Are Forever. They don't refer to him by name because there's some kind of copyright issue at the time, and that's why he was actually supposed to be the villain in Spy Who Loved Me, I believe. I think it was that one. Yeah, another great Bond film. Definitely, as I said, my second favorite from the Moore era. Definitely check it out. It's highly recommended. Yeah, great movie. Definitely one of the best 007 entries. Then there's Octopussy. Now this is where they started going downhill again. I feel like the Roger Moore era kind of started off kind of rocky and then it ended kind of badly. I think the movies that are in the middle were the best. Octopussy's definitely not one of the better ones. I do love the scenery. I love the setting. The palaces of India and the whole scene on the train and stuff. The circus. He even dresses up like as a clown at one point. But he was really getting old by this point. I think he was probably too old to play Bond. I love the 80s, but obviously, but the early 80s Bond films could have been a lot better, and this is definitely one of the weaker ones. It still has its moments, though. It's not totally bad. Octopussy, the title character, she's pretty cool. And there's a few good moments, but overall, it's pretty forgettable. I'd say probably skip it. And then we have View to a Kill. This is one of the worst Bond films. Definitely the worst than Roger Moore. Even worse than Moonraker, which most people hate, but I actually like it. This is definitely the worst one. This is just... Oh, gosh. It does have a great theme song. A View to a Kill by Duran Duran. It's actually one of my favorite songs ever. Oh, Duran. Roger Moore was definitely too old to play Bond at this point, and it shows. I think there's a lot of times where Bond is played by another actor, like a stunt double or whatever. You can definitely tell. Roger Moore was definitely too old for Bond at this point. I also never really cared for Mayday, played by, what's her name, Grace Jones or whatever, from Vamp. But I will say, as a great villain, Christopher freaking Walken plays Max Zorin. Definitely one of the better Bond villains of the Moore era, but unfortunately, it's not enough to save this movie. Because other than that, it's really not that great. But hey, I feel like there's still something good in every Bond movie. So it still has its moments, just like all the others. But the Moore era was definitely a good run. As I said, he's my second favorite Bond actor next to Connery. And it's really sad that he's no longer with us. So again, rest in peace, Roger Moore. I'll definitely be watching these movies. I have them all on VHS as well. So I like to put in the VHS and the DVD at the same time and switch back and forth on my TV and compare the quality. I think that's always a lot of fun. Obviously the DVD is going to be better. And sometimes when I have the movie on Blu-ray, I switch between all three, which is a fun thing to do. But yeah, definitely be watching those movies in the honor of the late Roger Moore. Great actor, great Bond, my second favorite once again. Very, very sorry to hear about his passing, but again, he did live a long, full life, and he definitely left behind a legacy that will not be forgotten anytime soon. Again, huge fan of 007 here, and it's very sad that he was actually the first Bond actor to go, not counting, like Casino Royale, the 1967 Casino Royale, or whatever it was, and then that one, or 57, whatever the hell it was. As the main Bond series, Roger Moore is the first Bond actor to go, not counting the unofficial TV episode Casino Royale and the whatever movie. What was it, David Niven that played him? I don't even know. I don't care enough. But the real Bond series, Roger Moore was the first Bond to leave us. I actually got a text message this morning from my stepdad saying James Bond has died. I was like, oh God. At first I thought it was Sean Connery. I was like, oh God, Connery's no longer. Then I thought, well, what if he means the current Bond, Daniel Craig? I was like, that'd be crazy if the youngest and current Bond actor left. But then I looked it up, and sure enough, it was sadly Roger Moore. But he was the oldest, and he did, again, for the fourth time. He lived a very long life. So I'm still very sorry to hear about his passing, and I'll be watching me some Bond today. All right, guys, I'm Hellhound, and hopefully next time you see me, it'll be under more pleasant circumstances. rest in peace Roger Moore, and also rest in peace Chris Cornell as well. He left us too soon. All right, guys, I'm Hellhound. Until next time.